Welcome back to some more of the Geek Odyssey. So I have been ill. I had a bad back for a week. I generally couldn't move. Then I had a huge infected lump on my shoulder and I had to take heavy medication and I'm still recovering from that. So I've been a bit off. That's why I haven't done any videos. So I'm doing a quick Doctor Who tier list video. I'll be covering season 2 today. Next week I'll do season 3. Well, I'm doing them both now, but the reason I'm saying next week is to make up for the times off. And then that big video I'm going to get on, do that. Then I'll do the conclusion to that video where I compare the 3 teams on that. The big video is the Haikyuu video, where I compare the Height and Power team, the Nekoma team, the one based off their philosophy, and so on and so forth. The 3 teams we've already made, or the 2 we've already made, and the video will be coming out. I'll get on with that one. I'm also going to do videos, more videos on Haikyuu, but also on other things. For example, I'm rereading, for the 4th time, Nanomachine, and it is one of the most rereadable mangas I've ever read. I'm not saying it's the best manga I've ever read, but it's definitely the one where it's like I keep reading it over and over and over again. And I think it's underrated, so I'll go into that. But with Haikyuu, I'm going to do a video where I talk about Aoba Josai and their real strength, Oikawa, and why he's actually the best setter, even though I've done a video where I discuss who's the best setter, and I didn't have him winning. I've played more volleyball, done trials for volleyball, and have understood more. I want to go into that video, and also why he might be the second best player. Not setter, second best player after Ushijima. And then obviously I'll go on a video about Ushijima and why he is in fact by far number 1. By a long shot, and it's not even close. But anyway, let's get into today's video, where we go over Season 2, which is from New Earth all the way to The Runaway Bride. Now, I've just finished watching Season 3. In fact, I am up to here. I've yet to watch this one, which is The Voyage of the Damned. I took a bit of a break, a few days break, between the Time Lords, so I can do these videos before I forget. So, with this, if we look at New Earth, it's not as bad as the Long Game. It's a decent episode, but I think it has to go in decent. It has to go in decent, because I don't see it as good as Father's Day, which I think is a gold standard and could easily be moved up, or Aliens of London. But I see it as around just a bit better than The End of the World, so actually I'm going to change that. So it's maybe around this level, maybe a bit below. No, it's below. It's I'm confusing with the other one. It's definitely in this tier, New Earth. It's around this level, yeah, definitely. Tooth and Claw, I think, is also decent. There's nothing really special about it. I do like the werewolf. I've got a toy of the werewolf. And there are some good bits, but I think I just don't think there's anything raising it up. Like these, the introspective of this, the world building of this, the impact of this. Her first time, it just doesn't work. School Reunion, though, I want to say it's decent, right? But it's going in good. The reason I want to say it's decent is because it is just a decent movie. But it's the first time fully in New Who where Classic Who is officially brought back with K9 and Sarah Jane Smith, who is a beloved fan favourite, the companion of the 4th Doctor. And it also shows the repercussions of travelling with the Doctor and what it's like and how he will just abandon you. The new versus the old, they're bickering and then them getting along. When I say them bickering, I mean her and Rose, Sarah and Rose. And We get a bit more lore about different aliens. There's that species that's very old. The Scatus paradigm. I think it's a decent episode, but I think the villains let it down. The main villain, who's played by, what is his name? Anthony Hopkins, I think his name is? No, that's someone else. Why did I say his name? The person who played Uther in Merlin. Great show, by the way. You should watch it. Another BBC one. He was good, but the rest of them were just generic villains. Not much to them, so it can't go any higher. The Girl in the Fireplace. It's a good episode. Is it great? It's great. I think it's great. It's on par with Rose and World War III. I would say Boomtown is personally better, but I don't think many people agree. So I'm putting it Girl in the Fireplace in great. So far we've got 2 in decent, 1 in good, and 1 in great. Rise of the Cybermen. I really like the Cybermen episodes, but like Boomtown and Aliens of London, one of them isn't as good as the other. So let's put the Age of Steel here. I think that's the way to put it. Because the Rise of the Cybermen, it introduces it all. But I don't like all that stuff with Rose and her family. You know what I mean? Like, why would she be so desperate to meet her father when she met her actual father last year? Or last season. For her, I don't know how long it's been. And it's not her mother, just because he's rich. It's that bit pisses me off, especially her with the reaction to the dog. She normally would have laughed at that. I don't see why she was so offended at that situation. I also like the bit with Ricky and Mickey, and the Cybermen being from a parallel Earth. It's not ours. I mean, the reason they're different is because it's a different creator. But most of it culminates in this episode here, which is in fact better. The Idioms Lantern. Oh, you know what? It might have to be terrible or bad. Because I think it's an okay plot. But it's the only one of these where I couldn't watch it. I had to pause and watch it 3 days. I had to watch it over the course of 3 days because I just couldn't. So I'm putting it in bad. Because I don't think it's terrible. I just think the beginning's a bit of a hard watch. And it isn't always the best acting. But there is one positive. There's a man in there, a young boy, who plays the boy, this is probably his best appearance behind a camera, considering he later goes on and says Haaland would be lucky if he scored 15 goals in the Premier League. So, Rory. So far, this season is not shaping up the best. It's had decent, good, great, bad, but now we have 2 of my favourite. I think they are my favourite episodes. The Impossible Planet, Above Dalek, and The Satan's Pit, which is also up here. But I don't know which one I prefer. So I'm just going to put it like this, but you could put them either way round. But because this is the one with the actual Satan in it, I'm going to put this one up there. The Beast in the Satan's Pit is my favourite Doctor Who villain that I can think of off the top of my head by far. I like the Weeping Angels. Obviously, I like the Daleks. But the Beast, someone before time, the truth behind all the myths, the intelligence, the scariest thing isn't that he could be powerful. For all we know, if he wasn't in chains, he could have the power to destroy the universe, but those chains could be holding him back. We don't know. But it's the truth of the seductiveness of the voice, the charmingness of it, the intelligence, the charisma. It is similar to the Doctor, and how in this episode, the Doctor, and in many episodes, the Doctor gets authority just by speaking. People just are captivated and listen. The Beast is very similar in that, and very sinister. It is. I think they are 2 of the best episodes in Doctor Who. They're 2 of my favourite for sure. Love and Monsters. I think it's overly hated. It's not good, but I don't. But I don't. I think it's overly hated, so it goes in okay. Fear Her, however. It's bad. It really is bad. It might even be terrible. But I think it's redeemed because Rose copes somewhat well on her own. I love the guy who does the tarmac. I don't know why, I just do. And I like how the Doctor does the torch. But this one could easily drop down into terrible. But for now, I'm putting it in bad. Because at least I could watch it all the way through. But this one, I had to stop. Army of Ghosts and Doomsday. Army of Ghosts. Army of Ghosts is the first part. It might be the first Amazing. Army of Ghosts. I think Army of Ghosts is great. I have to say they're both great. Oh, I'm tempted to put Doomsday in bad because I'm not a huge fan of the relationship between Ten and Rose. But they are good episodes. The banter between the Daleks and the Cybermen are absolutely hilarious. This isn't war. This is pest control. You would beat the Cybermen with 4 Daleks. We would beat the Cybermen with 1 Dalek. Just pure comedy gold. But it's... One thing that I never understood. One, why didn't the TARDIS get dragged in to the abyss, the in-between, the void? Because it went through. And if it is just too powerful where it can't, then why didn't the Doctor just put all of them inside the TARDIS and then activate it himself? But I think they're great. I do prefer Boomtown. I think this is how I'd rank them. Oh, you know what? I think I'd do that. This is how I'd rank them. And ending with The Runaway Bride. Most people put it in great, but you know what? There's still that sadness from the 10th Doctor. But Donna... I was never a fan of Donna in this episode when I first watched it, and in the first time I watched season 4, but I grew to really like her. Martha was originally my favourite companion, but then it became Donna as I rewatched it when I was a bit older. And their chemistry, I just think it's really good, especially after the romance of these two and before things between them get messy. It's the Racnos showing the Doctor's darker side. I just think it is an amazing episode. Speaking of amazing episodes, we're going to end that there, and we're going to go over to this one. See, where does it rank? Where does it rank? Where does season 2 rank? Well, we've got 2 in the S tier, so it can't possibly be in these. I think you can't be in these if you're there. But most of the episodes are centered around here. It will be... I think it's got to go in good. Because it's got 2 S tiers, which keep it up. 1 A tier. 3 great. 2 good. 2 here. 2 there. And I think... If it didn't have those S tiers, it would probably be indecent. But because of those S tiers, I think it goes in good. And that is how that goes.